I love history, and unlike most of my generation, I have read about more than just civil rights, Nazis, and slavery, because, believe it or not, humanity has been kicking around for a very long time, and there is an awful lot of interesting stuff out there if you bother to go digging. And over the years, Hollywood has taken a crack at telling some of the stories from our shared past, and the results have been mixed at best, as Hollywood has been kind of retarded on their adaptations for a lot of reasons. We can point to especially stupid decisions like casting John Wayne as Genghis Khan, or making Cicero a fourth-tier character in HBO's Rome, or making every Indian in old westerns a greasy Italian dude, or race-swapping Cleopatra because Netflix has no idea where the Ptolemaic dynasty got its name. Hollywood has once again opted to go down the path of mental retardation. Now, this, ladies and gentlemen, is the Roman Emperor Macarinus. I don't know. And this is who will be playing him in the upcoming sequel to Gladiator.
Oh, come on!
Now, I love Denzel Washington as an actor. He is infinitely talented and has more range than most of the talentless hacks in Hollywood, but despite this, I know for a fact why he is playing this role. And he is here for the same reason that I know why Yasuke is in Assassin's Creed Shadows as one of the main protagonists, because the media industrial complex has allowed itself to be subsumed by an ideology that demands a certain range of colors across the crayon box for the sake of diversity, whether it makes sense or not, and thus you sit your ass down and suddenly, instead of watching a piece of entertainment that is cast that looks like they belong in ancient Rome or Japan, they instead look like the standard set of current year urbanites, and while that is just fine for a movie set in Le Current Year, it does not fit in a movie set in ancient Rome or Japan, and thus it yanks you right out. It's like getting to second base and finding out that the hot thing you picked up at his bar is actually packing 6 inches of iron under its skirt and having your entire night ruined, as you spend the next 5 minutes GTFOing your way to pull an Ace Ventura.
Oh my god! Einhorn is a man!
Race swapping is not just bad for the audience, as it pulls them out of the story, but it's also bad for the actors, as they are not being treated fairly, as they're just being used by the studios to secure an ESG check, instead of their sometimes undeniable talent. It's not that I would dislike seeing a story about Yasuke. He is a fascinating character who wound up serving one of the most influential characters of Japanese history. But he was not a samurai, and pardon the hell out of me, but haven't people been begging for an Assassin's Creed set in the feudal Japan since basically the start of the series? And when we finally do, they yank an obscure dude whose overall part in that period was to stand around looking imposing? I'll admit to not being the biggest fan of the Roman Empire, as I find the Republican era more interesting, but did we have to race swap a guy for the sake of DEI points? Denzel Washington deserves better than being brought on because someone in the casting department has a political axe to grind. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, that's all I've got for today. This has been Pete, the Heretical Nerd, signing off.